Hey guys, it's me. I'm back, Ron Williams. Today is just one of those days. I feel it's snowing outside, but this is just a great day. Have you ever had one of those days you get up and regardless of what the weather is like, you just feel good? Well, today is it. I'm glad to be with you guys today. I want to talk today about building the chest. And the reason why I want to talk about that and the reason why it's so important to me, it's a very sensitive area because when I first started in bodybuilding as a teenager, it was clearly my weakest body part. I was a swimmer and I swam the butterfly, so that builds your back. I was on the track team and I ran track, so my legs were just beautiful. But my chest, it was weak. My abs really, really strong, really, really separated. So I had to figure out, how am I going to build my chest? Well, I had to learn the anatomy of the chest, the pectoralis major, and how it actually ties in to the humerus. And how when you rotate the shoulder, that's what contracts the chest, not so much pushing a bench press. See, the bench press contracts, but you get a maximum contraction with the bench press, but never ever a peak contraction. And I had to learn how to get a peak contraction to really develop from the inside all the way out. Now, I want you to try something. Take your hand and put it in the opposite side of your chest, right where the pec delt tie-ins are, where the chest and the shoulders come together. Stick your hand there. Now do a bench press with the other hand. Oof. You can feel slight contraction, but push all the way out, hold it. Now bring that hand in toward the center. And squeeze. You feel that contraction? That's where you get your peak contraction. You can maximize the bench press here, but not your chest. You maximize the chest here, and that's where the peak contraction comes in. So that's why we try to find a way to do that peak contraction by using cable crossovers. We try to use the pec delt exercises, things, and the dumbbells where we're pushing and bringing it in. The only problem with the dumbbells is after you push and you're squeezing, you really have no lateral resistance. It's just gravity that pushes down, but you have no resistance pulling from the left or the right. When you have that resistance pulling from the left or the right, you get that peak contraction, and that's what we're after, and that's what causes that chest to explode. So we want to duplicate that, building that peak contraction. So again, let's look at the chest. I want you to look at this diagram. It'll show you how the actual chest ties in. There's a clavicular tie-in where it ties in from the clavicle. There's a sternum tie-in where it ties in from the sternum, and then there's a costal tie-in where it ties in low. Well, I'm going to show you how to do the lower chest when you're pushing down, even though it's still the whole pectoral or the pectoralis. Even though you're working the whole pectoralis major, the important thing is you're isolating more of the lower part of your chest. And on the incline, more of the upper part. And when you're doing a flat, it just hits the whole chest, but mainly in the center portion of it where the sternum, where it ties into the sternum. But there are 3 segments to it. And I want you to see in this diagram how they tie in. And when you see how they tie in and why doing a decline press works the lower chest, why an incline press works the upper chest, you're not just guessing, you know what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. Look at the weakest area. That's the area you start with. If your lower pectoral is weak, then start with your heaviest work, working the lower part of your chest. Most people, they start with a flat bench, then an incline, then they'll do some decline. But I'm telling you now, if you want maximum development, start with the weakest part of your chest, because the whole thing is we want to balance our body. We don't want to just do what everybody else is doing. Your body's a little different than mine. And the next person's body is a little different than the next person. And the thing that we want to do is to balance. So I'm going to show you now. I want you to look at this diagram. Take a look at it. Now what I want you to do is I want you to follow me, and I'm going to show you some of the exercises, and we'll just go through some of the things that's going to help develop and build the chest. Let's do it. Okay, guys, here we go. I'm going to start off with an incline press. And you'll notice that as I'm doing the incline press, I'm pushing upward, and the bench I'm using is on a slight incline. So that's going to put me in a position where I'm pushing not just straight up over my head in front of me, but also upward, which is going to force the upper part of the pectoralis to engage, and in a way that the lower part of the pectoralis doesn't engage. So as I'm doing this, I want you to watch that, and I want you to watch the range of motion. And when I come down, I never allow the shoulders to rotate forward, but I'm pulling my shoulders back, forcing my chest open, pulling the shoulders back, and getting a full range of motion. Now, when the weight's coming down, I'm not allowing the weight to come down and then drive against the weight. I'm actually pulling the weight down. I'm bringing it to me. I'm bringing it to me. Okay, here we go. This is my little table. I call this my dinner table. I eat the weights, baby. Here we go. Oof. So, starting off here, and as I go back, you'll notice that I use my knees to pop the weight up. And once I get the weight in position, it's a full stretch first. Full stretch, and then up. Full stretch. Look at the shoulders. Open, 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 open. Now drive. Pulling and opening. Okay. So I'm just going to go over that one more time. So once I'm in position, I'm here. My shoulders are open, pulling them back. My chest, forcing it up towards the ceiling, forcing a full stretch, and then driving from here. I'm not concentrating on pushing my arms forward. That's not the first thing I'm doing. The first thing I'm doing is forcing those shoulders up and squeezing, forcing that chest to come in the center. So it's here, squeeze, finish it off. So with that being said, we're gonna go to the next exercise. Instead of using a flat dumbbell, what I normally use is a selector pin machine, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Let's go do it. Okay guys, this next exercise is working right in the center where the costal, where the pectoralis ties into the costal, right in the center. So I'm really hitting my whole chest, but it's really isolating right in the center of my chest. Now, the key to this machine is I can set the range of motion wherever my body will allow me. If my body will allow me to get a full stretch, a better range of motion, then I can change this setup. So I can change this to here, pretty good stretch. Ooh. But if it's not a full range of motion for me, I can rotate it back a little bit further. So what I have to do is stand up, get in position. Now that I'm in position, I'm concentrating on not letting the shoulders roll forward. I'm going to show you what it doesn't look like, then I'm going to show you what it does look like. So notice my chest is opening, opening, opening. Ooh, full range of motion for me right there. And I'm squeezing forward from the pec delt tie-ins. Now this is the wrong way to do it. As I'm coming down, allowing the shoulders to roll forward. See how it rests now? It's resting. Then I've got to heave. Ooh, that's dangerous on the shoulder. Ooh, dangerous on the shoulder. So I'm going to try it again. Ooh. Now I'm going to open the chest. Ooh, chest is open and it's still touching full range of motion, and I'm pushing from the pec delt tie-ins rather than, ooh, it hurts even doing that. So I'm not going to do that. So what we want to do is make sure we get the chest open as wide as we can. With that being said, with all of your exercises, when it comes to chest, you want to do the same thing. Whether it's a decline, remember where the tie-in is for the decline. You'll see the lower part of the pectoral or the pectoralis. You'll see it here, but it ties in higher. it ties in higher on the humerus. And the upper pectoralis ties in lower on the humerus. And right in the center, it ties in right in the middle. But it's the rotation of the shoulders that give you the maximum amount of contraction, which is going to give you the maximum amount of growth. Keep that in mind, guys, as you're going through the exercises. Make sure you're maximizing every single movement while you're in the gym. Hey guys, listen, I hope you really love the content of this video, but I'm going to tell you something really important. We've got a Max Muscle series that's coming out. I need you to watch it, and you'll see the first one that's tagged on this video. I want you to go to that. If your desire is to build max muscle, this series is for you. I took a lot of time and put this together. It's actually 10 videos on how to build max muscle. You're gonna love it. So listen, until next time, God bless you.